Well, hello. I'm Arthur Waldron. For the last 17 years, I've been Professor of International Relations in the History Department at Penn, and I want to welcome all of you to this very exciting trip, the Waterways of Russia. And I mean that it's exciting. It's exciting enough that I've dug in to bring my wife and one of my sons along too, because this is very special. Let me first say something about Russia and then something about myself. For many of you, this may be the first time you have visited Russia. Russia is absolutely a must-visit country. Great civilization. It's almost twice the size of the next largest country, yet it differs from the West in many ways. I'll never forget the first time I approached the Russian border, which was in the spring, if you can believe it, of 1967. We got off a train, the small gauge trains of Europe at Brest-Litovsk, and there were these huge Soviet trains with their broad gauges. And I looked down the endless track, and I thought, this track goes through 11 time zones before it reaches the Pacific. That's now 9 time zones, thanks to some changes they've made. We will be visiting 2 of the most important cities in Russia: Moscow, the great inland capital, the imperial capital, the one that faces really toward the east, toward the steppe, faces away from Europe, and we'll also be visiting St. Petersburg, which was intentionally created by Peter the Great as what he called a window on Europe. And it's one of the most mysteriously beautiful cities in the world, with its waterways, its pastel-colored buildings, and so forth. In between, we have a tremendous treat, which is that we will be stopping at various towns and settlements which are inaccessible, really, by land, where there are some of the most beautiful pieces of traditional Russian architecture in the world. And of course, we'll also be going to Kizhi, the island museum in the north, where examples of the unique Russian wood architecture have been gathered. Now, as for myself, let me say that I started out as a Russian specialist. I've made a number of trips to Russia. In fact, I've been to quite a few of the places that we're going. I spent a semester at what was then Leningrad State University and got a language certificate, although, as you will quickly find, my Russian is very rusty. I went on, however, to become a China specialist, although I'm very interested in international relations generally. I think that this is a huge opportunity for everybody. I'm sure that this is going to be a trip to remember, and I want to welcome all of you aboard. Thank you.